I'm about to share with you 5 critical elements that you must be using above the fold on your pages in order to skyrocket your conversion rates. Alright then guys, I'm Oliver Kenyon, co-founder here at ConversionWise, and before we jump into these 5 critical elements, I want to remind you that if you're watching this video on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button below. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you stay up to date with the latest tips and tricks in the world of conversion rates. And also another reminder that if you are not in our free community where we share all these videos amongst other exclusive content, then head on over to conversionratecommunity.com or just check us out on Facebook by searching Conversion Rate Community. Okay, let's jump into it. Here's 5 critical elements that anyone can easily implement above the fold on your pages in order to skyrocket those all-important conversion rates. Let's do this. Okay guys, so a few quick things to mention. First and foremost, if you don't take action, if you're watching this video and you don't implement what I see, you will see no changes in your conversion rates whatsoever. The only thing I ask in exchange for you watching this video is that you actually implement, take action, and you will see results and you'll be thanking me for it afterwards. I promise you this. So if you don't have these 5 things above the fold, and just quickly, what is above the fold? For those of you who don't know, if you go to a website, whether it's on your mobile or desktop, whatever loads in that screen, whether you're on a tablet, whether you're on a mobile, whether you're on a desktop, is the section that loads above the fold. The fold is below the scroll. So anything that loads in that first section is above the fold. Now, yes, we will be going into mobile. I will be showing you mobile pages as well in this tutorial. So fear not, this is not all going to be on desktop. However, it's clearer for me to explain on desktop and then switch to the mobile and show you how that should be laid out as well. And another quick note, a lot of the off-the-shelf themes, page builders, etc. will not have these 5 critical elements above the fold. Why? Because they only care about what looks nice. They don't really care about what actually converts. So I'm going to show you how you can actually easily implement these 5 things. Doesn't matter what builder you use or what theme you're using, you can still implement them on pretty much 99% of what's out there. And that's exciting because if you've watched this and you notice you don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these elements, and most of you will notice you don't have 1 or 2 of them, just by implementing them or fine-tuning what I tell you on this, you are going to see an increase in conversions. One more note just before we jump into the first element is that this works for any type of page. Lead generation, advertorials, e-com. I'm doing this example on an e-com product page because I think that's typically what our audience wants to see. However, if you're watching this and you do lead gen, you run traffic to advertorials, webinars, opt-in pages, doesn't matter. Everything is going to be applicable within these 5 elements. So let's jump into it. Element number 1, that is having a clear value proposition above the fold on your landing page. Now, what is a value proposition? A value proposition here is, in this instant on a product page, is your product title. It's the first head, it's the header, the first title that people are drawn to when they come to your page. And there's a stat that says you have 3 seconds in order to get your clear value proposition across to someone before they exit your page. Now, typically speaking, on a product page, on an e-com store, that value proposition is your product title. So it's the actual title of the product. So let's just take any random product. Let's take weight loss, for example. That product might be called Fitness 101. Okay, so that product is called Fitness 101. It's a weight loss product. And typically speaking, you will have this title here as Fitness 101. Now, I understand that a lot of you have to be careful when you're doing relying on search and SEO traffic, and obviously Google traffic when your product title has to be the title, if that makes sense. But you can get creative with a kind of subtitle underneath, or you can add to your product title here to get that clear value proposition, or you can add a title up here. So there is ways around this. You don't have to edit your product title to be what I'm about to say, but what we're trying to do is have something above the fold that gets across a value for a consumer who's landing on your page from cold media. So let's get into the minds of our consumers. Someone who's coming here for a fitness product, I don't want to read first and foremost about Fitness 101. I know nothing about it. I don't trust in it. It's just a product name. It doesn't entice me in. It doesn't offer me value. What does offer me value is the benefit of that fitness product. Okay, so this is why we always talk about benefits before features. So I would be changing this title, product title, to be more value driven. And we do that with a benefit. So let me show you. We go from Fitness 101, product name, to live a healthier life with Fitness 101. Okay, the end goal or the value or the benefit of being fit is living a healthier life. Another one you could try, be the envy of all your friends with Fitness 101. That's a clear value and a benefit from this product. So like I say, you don't necessarily have to do it with the product title. I understand some people don't like playing with it. Add a subtitle here, add a title up here, but somewhere above the fold, get that clear value proposition in and make sure you entice people, because if you don't do that, that's like mistake number one. People will not continue reading your page. They will not be interested until they get hit with that value as soon as they land on your page. So that's number one, okay? I'm gonna fly through these and then we'll get to the mobile one, because I want to keep this short, concise. I want you to take action, and then I want to hear about your results, okay? That's another thing to say. If you get results, make sure you come into our community, make sure you comment on these videos and let us know, okay? Number two is having an emotive image or video, okay? So on this product page, it's this here. It could be a lead gen page. You could have another image above the fold. It could be a video. Images typically work better, and they're better because you can optimize them for load speed, so you can compress them and they load quicker. But people tend to get this wrong on product pages. I'm not saying you can't lead with that professional shot image that you spend thousands on getting it nicely. You picture the lighting, you get the lights, you get the best camera, and you get a picture of your product or your service or your software, whatever. However, having something that's more emotive and candid works way better. Now, your first product image, you'll notice here we've got like on this wireframe and template, we've got like a scroll of images. Your first image can be that kind of beautifully shot image. So again, Fitness 101, my amazing health weight loss product. We have a nice picture of the health loss product here, but make sure that second picture or that first picture, split test these by the way, is something that's more emotive. And by emotive as an image, what I mean is it's actually someone using your product. It's tugging on my emotions. It's me looking at it thinking, oh wow, that caused an emotion. To me, a beautifully shot picture of your Fitness 101 product, on the right setting with the right lighting, it's nice. I've seen it thousands of times. It doesn't tug on my heartstrings. It doesn't get me emotional. However, someone actually taking that product or seeing the benefits from the product, or an influence shot where it's someone actually using that product, is more emotive. I connect with it more. And that's all we're trying to do on these landing pages above the fold. We're just trying to get people to connect. If we can sell the product above the fold, amazing. But our whole job is to get them to scroll further if needs be to then sell them. But people will not scroll further unless these kind of things are in place. Okay, so number two is making sure you have that emotive image or video. Typically speaking, I would go with image, especially on product pages. Image number one can be that professionally shot image, but make sure you have a scroll, you have multiple images, and make sure you're using emotive image shots of people actually using the product, benefiting from the product. Real life pictures convert way better than these kind of studio shot pictures for most products, okay? So make sure you have that emotive image. Number three, and again, we'll get to mobile, but number three is having social proof above the fold. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. I look at so many product pages and they still don't have social proof above the fold. Now, this is the easiest way. These are both examples of social proof, but this top one is the easiest way to get some form of social proof above the fold. And I would always lead with it. Have it right at the top. Have it right at the top so people see it. Typically, people read pages right to left to right. So you kind of want to go, this is getting a little bit technical, but you kind of want them to see this section first, then they go here, and then they go here. So having that social proof top right really works. And what do I mean by social proof? Well, it's reviews. But if we zoom in on this review, you'll notice that it's far more than just 5 gold stars. You need a visual, so you need the stars. Stars really work. If not, have the Trustpilot icons, because they really work as well. But having a visual that people can see, not just text, works really well. So we typically will do 5 gold stars like this, or 4.8. Like, again, stupid stats, but if you want to get really geeky, 4.8 or 4.7 or 4.6 out of 5 converts better than 5 out of 5, because 5 out of 5 is unbelievable. People don't believe that you have this perfect product when it's rated by thousands of people. But have these 5 gold stars, and then look at this. Look at this text. We've not just gone rated 4.8 out of 5. We don't stop there. We kind of attach and grab those heartstrings of people. So rated 4.8 out of 5 by 1,000 plus happy customers. And then I put benefit here because this is where you add that benefit again. Okay, so you go rated 4.8 out of 5 stars by 1,000 plus happy customers living a healthier life with Fitness 101. Okay, and that is super, super powerful. Having that little addition to the end, again, it just attaches with that consumer who's coming to that product, that benefit, that end goal, that value prop. What am I getting from this product? Okay, so that's the clearest example of social proof, but if on desktop especially, make sure you have this as well. So make sure you have a physical review above the fold as well, okay? So these are critical moments, all to be above the fold. Okay, so what you want to do is have a review, and there's a few elements that you need on a review. You need a real picture. So you need a real picture of a real person, not studio shot. Someone who's just organically taking a selfie on an iPhone will convert better. So something that's real, a real testimonial, their name first and second because it's more believable, and then that visual. It's all about the visual of the 5 stars. Sounds stupid, but having this review without the 5 stars doesn't increase your conversion rate as much as having the review with the 5 stars, because people see the 5 stars subconsciously and therefore trust in your product more. Okay, so number 3 is making sure you have forms of social proof, the rating, and then the actual review above the fold. And it's critical that you do that on your landing pages. Okay, so number 4, we are going to be talking about trust. Now, getting trust above the fold is super, super important on your pages. Again, doesn't matter if you're doing lead generation, e-com, product pages, home pages, all of these elements will apply to all of the above. And how do we instill trust in a cold consumer who's just clicked a paid ad and come to your page, and we want to get them to trust your brand instantly? Well, there's various ways. We start with these sort of things, okay? So they're called trust seals, trust icons. Again, visuals. Make sure you use like emojis or icons. Visuals will convert way better than just plain text. Okay, so these sort of things below the nav work very, very well. All we're trying to do is get people to believe that we are a credible and trustable brand, okay? So we do that with things like free worldwide shipping, 90-day back guarantee. A guarantee is a huge sign of trust. Loved by thousands. That's kind of social proof, but it's also trust. We're trusted by thousands. So you might want to change that to trusted by thousands. 24/7 customer support. Oh, wow, they have a customer support center that's 24/7. Now, again, don't follow these exactly, but change them for yours. Example, if you only open 12 days for customer support, 12 hours a day, put that. If you only have a 30-day money-back guarantee, put that. But it's these things that people then intrinsically believe you're a real brand and a credited brand with people behind you and customer support centers and guarantees and trusted customers, that they will trust in you more, okay? So that's one form of trust. Another couple of forms of trust that we will do above the fold is secondly, buy all your call to action pages throughout your whole page, but above the fold, most importantly, is having these payment seals. Now, you can easily download these. Go to Google, search for merchant processor payment seals or Shopify payment seals, etc., and you'll find loads of these free PNGs. Make sure you always get permission, of course, but that you can just download and implement. Again, if you're using a page builder, just add an image below your button. If you're using a theme, I'm sure this is very doable. You just add an image below the button or a new section and add an image. But what you want to do is have payment seals that you guys accept. So don't go and have Visa and PayPal, and we've seen this backfire. Like, make sure they're only the ones that you accept. Don't have PayPal logo if you don't accept PayPal, because what you'll have is people click through because they want to use PayPal, then you don't have PayPal and you've lost that customer. So make sure that these trust seals are actually merchant processors that you accept. But why does this work? This works because MasterCard, American Express, Visa, PayPal are all trustable, creditable companies that people trust. So when they come to your page and see their logos, they subconsciously think, oh wow, well, PayPal trusts this company. They allow people to sell via PayPal, therefore I trust PayPal, now I trust this brand. Okay, so wherever your payment seals are, have these trust seals, and something like this, an SSL or fully secured checkout icon works really, really well as well. One last form of trust above the fold is this. If you can fit it in above the fold, as featured in, as trusted by. If, for example, you have influencers who promote your brand who are well known in the space, throw their logos in this section, trusted by, okay? And then throw those influencer names. If you've been featured in publications, if you've got YouTube reviews by anyone, even if brands aren't that recognizable, just via having trusted by and a logo or an icon of that brand or the name of that brand is going to instill trust in the consumer. It doesn't matter if they're the Daily Telegraph or they're Bob's blog. It really doesn't matter. What does matter is that there's real people reviewing you and trusting in your product, so therefore I now trust in your product. So that's number 4, is making sure you instill trust above the fold on your pages. Now on to number 5, and arguably one of the most important, is making sure you get that call to action above the fold. Now there's lots of things to say about a call to action. First and foremost, make sure the call to action button is as far as color, is a completely different color to your brand color. We see people get this wrong all the time. Let's say, for example, my brand color is this blue. So, you know, my logo would be blue, my header would be blue, everything would be blue on the page. And then I make my button blue, it goes missing. People do not see it. So you want to kind of almost inverse your color for your call to action button, have something completely different. So as a default, we like this green kind of button. It converts very well. Also Amazon orange, you probably heard me say this time and time again, but Amazon orange works very, very well. But don't pick a green or an orange if your brand colors are green or orange, okay? You want something completely different, something that stands out. When it comes to the text on your button, make sure you, again, I hate repeating myself, but choose something that's emotive, that instills an action. You want an actionable word. You want like a now, or a rush, or a grab, or a get. Not just, I mean, add to cart can work, but it typically doesn't convert as well, especially on single product stores, as like, get mine now, grab mine now, rush my order. Lastly, emojis. You've heard me say it time and time again, but emojis really do increase your CTR on your buttons. So we still haven't found a better one than that. But it depends. If you're doing lead generation, for example, continue now with that button. Book your call in now with a phone icon works. Schedule your call with a calendar icon works. Rush my order with the kind of whoosh emoji works really well. The cart emoji, add to cart now with the cart. But you want to really instill that action. So now, get it now, okay? So that kind of sums up those 5 elements. What we'll do now is we'll jump onto the mobile versions, and I'll walk you through exactly how these should be laid out on your mobile pages as well. Okay guys, so you're now joining me on the mobile version of the page, and this is a question we get asked a lot. There's 5 elements I need. You know, I'm telling you guys that you have to have these elements above the fold on your mobile. Well, that's true, but there's a way of doing this in a clever way. And there's also, I would say, don't become obsessed with having to have every single one very clearly, like way above the fold. If you can, great. But I understand that there's only so much real estate on a mobile view above the fold, depending on the size of the screen. So this is where you have to get a little bit clever. Okay, so let's grab that pen again. Here we go. And let's have a look at this. So we first start with that value proposition. Now this is very clearly, easily done above the fold because this is just your product name. So making sure you have that product name. Then we have the emotive image. I would always start with the image. You might want to split test just moving this section above the image, but typically the image at the top looks the neatest, it converts the best. So have that image. You might want to pull this up a little bit, but making sure you have that image. And then how do you get everything else above the fold? Well, it's quite simple. Like this should only take up, so the social proof should only take up 1, if not 2 lines max. This is why we don't have a full physical review above the fold, because it tends to take up like 5-6 lines, whereas the stars and the rated 4.8 only takes up 1 line typically, sometimes 2, as you can see here. But if I was going to optimize this further, this is only moved down to 2 lines because I put the benefit here. If I was going to optimize further, I would just put this and this on the same line, so you just don't take up too much real estate. When it comes to mobile, it's all about condensing neatly, but condensing your content so that the everything above the fold fits and stacks nicely. So you have that product image. Sorry, you have that clear value proposition, you have your product image, and you have your social proof. All 3 of those things can be easily ticked off above the fold, like easily ticked off. Then you have trust. If you can fit it in above the fold is super important, but you also have this up here. So you have two sets of trust. One, it can be in your navigation. I hate it when I see a mobile and like the logo takes up all this space. Like condense it right up like this. This is how your mobile should look above the fold. You have a clear menu tab here. You have your cart button here. You have your logo all on one line. Then we can get our trust across on one line as well. So your trust can be at the top, also by that call to action. And then lastly, that call to action. Again, it's not essential that that call to action button appears above the fold on mobile, but you need to have it within at least half a scroll. So if you imagine you're on a mobile and you scroll, within like half that scroll, that button needs to appear. So make sure that within that scroll, the button can come. But I think what's more important is the other 4 elements, and then you've kind of pre-sold people to then click that add to cart button. Okay, so just to recap, we can easily get these things above the fold on mobile. We have the clear value proposition here. We have the emotive image here. We have social proof here. I would condense this probably to one line. We have trust here, but most importantly, way above the fold here. And then we have our call to action button, if we can get it above the fold, and typically we can. Okay, guys, that's it. I really, really appreciate you sticking around. Hopefully this has helped. Let me know in the comments if this has helped. As I said, make sure you hit subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're not inside that community, head on over to Facebook or go to conversionratecommunity.com. And I will see you again on the ConversionWise channel for some more exclusive content. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.